Hey, welcome back to another episode of the No Comfort Zone. I'm going to be your host, Dan Brzezowski. Success and motivation in the No Comfort Zone. Today's podcast is all about making up for lost time. I'll see you on the inside.
Welcome.
Attention, please.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome to the No Comfort Zone podcast. It's time to get out of your comfort zone and live on purpose. Broadcasting to the world from Rockford, Illinois. This is your wake-up call.
Warning.
You are the solutions to all your problems. Stop thinking average. Become the hero version of yourself. Every day, every time, without fail, no exceptions. It all matters. You've entered the No Comfort Zone. It's time for a reality check.
Hey, welcome back, listeners. I'm really glad that you're here joining me on this evening edition of the No Comfort Zone. So it's Sunday night. I am getting ready to go about my planning for the week to come. I've got my days laid out, got my workout all set up, I calendared all of my time for the week. And I was just thinking about something. At some point, you got to realize that all of the adversity that maybe you've been through at this point in your life, whatever that may be, or whatever adversity you're going through right now, at some point, at some time, you're going to have to acknowledge that that is the past. Even if you're dealing with it right now, you can't change what happened in the past. And all too often, I spent so much of my time either talking about or living in the past where it actually compromised my present. I couldn't be in the moment because I was so worried about what I didn't have. And a lot of people that I talk to from this podcast are experiencing the same thing. When I try to get a bearing on what's going on with someone and we have a conversation or there's an email chain going back and forth, or even, Voxer is something that people communicate with me on now. And if you want to get a hold of me, just find me on Voxer or just Dan at the No Comfort Zone, or go to launchwithdan.com where I can get you on the calendar. We can have a brief conversation, or better yet, what I can do is I can email you a copy of the success blueprint where you can take a look at that. We can kind of put things in perspective. Let me know what's going on in your life. Give me a rough idea and I'll give you some bullet points, and I'll send you the blueprint along with the video, how it might help you. And then I'd love some feedback, which is one of the coolest things. And also, do me a favor. Reviews go such a long way. Right now, there's somebody looking for a podcast or for some help out there, and they're scrolling through. And if they see a really cool review or a 5-star rating on Apple iTunes, there's a good chance they might click. And it's my intention to align with that person and help them based on what they're currently going through and maybe what they've already been through. But enough of the shameless self-promotion. What I'm trying to do is really connect with people. And, when you think about the people that I have spoke with or am currently dealing with, one of the things that people get hung up on all too often is what's happened and the chaos and the drama of that problem. And they start reliving it. And they start going through, well, this happened and then that happened and this person did that. And it's all irrelevant. It's all irrelevant. You already have that gem of information, that problem that showed up from all of the chaos, the drama, from what they said and all that stuff that you went through. It's there. It's sitting right there. And that information is really, I guess, like the key towards the door of your success, if I want to say that, if I'm saying that the right way. You've got all this wonderful wisdom right there, and you just have to, you have knowledge, and you really need to start applying it so you can gain that wisdom. Because quite frankly, these problems that you're facing right now are just the opportunities for you to become a better version of yourself. And when I connect with people and they start living in the past and start going through it, I just have to cut them off and do a little pattern interrupt. And it's not about that. It's really just not about how you got into that situation. That's for a later time, so you don't repeat it. But what's going on right now? This no comfort zone thing has helped me financially when it comes to net worth. It's actually helped me with a reduction of debt, which comes down to net worth. It also comes down to relationships. It also comes to peace of mind. It's helped me with fitness. The weight that I've lost on the program that I put myself through with the intention and the mindset that I'm going to do this and the goals that I have, and finding a program that will work all worked very well for me and actually very easily. And once you start to, have that one domino, let's say the relationship domino, and you hit that with the No Comfort Zone blueprint, Then the relationship domino falls into the money domino, or vice versa. Then it goes into your career, goes into your relationships, goes into finances, and it can help in everything, even with, in an organizational. I use this in my organization all the time. And again, this is one of the coolest things about where I'm currently at now. I know all the adversity that I went through. I know the bankruptcy. I know the IRS issue. I know the medical issues, the divorce issues. I've got all these big categories that were, man, at the time they seemed unbearable. Like I could never make it through, and I didn't want to make it through. I really didn't think there would be an after. What happens after? I remember a guy told me one time, and he goes, dude, I've never seen a credit score this low. And he worked in a finance department at a car dealership. My credit score was so low that it's been said I couldn't finance a stick of gum. I mean, I was terrible. I wouldn't loan me money, not at all. Even personal friends out there. I've had a couple of people who helped me out financially along the way. And those people I really do appreciate. Even to this day, there's a couple of people out there that I just remember when times were really bad and I wasn't the best person, loan me money. And one of the nice things was they allowed me to pay it back. That's a pretty big thing where, if you loan somebody money and they pay it back, it's just helping the person that borrowed the money so much when you allow them to pay it back. It's such a big deal. But why am I bringing this up now? Because you can't make up for lost time. You can't go back and you can't put the donut down after you've eaten it. You can't undo your DUI. I've never had a DUI, but that's by the grace of God. But you can't undo certain things, the relationships that you've wrecked, or the finances that you've ruined. You just can't go back and you can't relive it. There's no point in that. Just realize, why did you do it? Why were you spending so much? Why were you in a relationship and you were constantly looking? Why did those things happen? Just write it down, journal it. Because what you're going to find out is when you make decisions like this in your life and you find out why you've got the consequences of what you've done that's wrong, you deal with that. You're dealing with the consequences, whether it's the police, whether it's the IRS, whether it's medical, whether it's a relationship issue, career issue, whatever it is, addiction, whatever it is, whatever you have, what the problem is. Now you've done that, and I've talked about this on way too many podcasts, and I talk about this in sales and management training, is just identify now what is the solution. Just live in the solution. What the next right step, the next right thing that you can do right in this moment? What is that one thing that you can do? And maybe for some of you, it's just to turn off, but you got to become aware. I'm aware that I'm in this current situation. Now you identify, after you've become aware where you're at, that don't spend any more energy trying to figure it out. You know where you're at. I am dealing with this at this moment. You got to identify why you got there. I identified some of my decisions in my life personally. I'm telling you, Dan Brzezowski, the host of the podcast, speaking to you right now, I had very low self-esteem. Low self-esteem caused me to try to be in as many relationships as I could. Low self-esteem got me into a position where I wanted to spend any dollar I got. I wanted to spend it right away rather than invest it. I wanted to hyper consume. Low self-esteem caused me to drink a tremendous amount of alcohol. And when it came down time to it, low self-esteem allowed me to take psychotropic drugs that really weren't the best thing for me. And I've made decisions that affected me severely, purely based on emotion. So you got to realize, why did you make those decisions or those choices emotionally? Well, I wanted to feel better. I wanted to feel significant. I wanted to feel loved. I wanted to feel a certain way. And it's that need to feel a certain way that you need to minimize. Yeah, everybody wants to feel significant. Of course you want to feel significant. If you want to feel significant, then make other people feel significant. It's been said that if you want to become the most impressive and the most exciting person in the room, ask a lot of questions to the people that you're surrounded by. Let them do all the talking, and you'll become like the best conversationalist in the world, because people love to talk about themselves. Hello, the guy having a podcast talking to himself on a regular basis. But, if you have a chance, if you want to feel significant, do little small things that, you're not going to get caught. For example, one of those things might be, if you're a living environment, straighten it out. If you're living with somebody else, straighten it out for the other person. And try not to get caught. Don't make a big deal about it. Just do it as a matter of fact. Like you genuinely care about the other person and you want to try to make them feel significant in any way. Little things add up to so much. so much. That's just what's so overlooked. You just take everything for granted. Stop taking people for granted. Really show your love and appreciation for them. Even if you don't like them very much, watch what will happen. You can turn a lot around, especially if you do it consistently without an agenda over a, 30, 40, 60 day period. Hello, No Comfort Zone Blueprint. Come on. So that's what happens when I go through the No Comfort Zone. I become aware of, where I'm currently at and identify how I got there. Then I decide, where am I going to place my impact? I've done a finance no comfort zone. I've done two fitness no comfort zones. I've done a business no comfort zone, which I'm getting ready to do again. And it's they're life-changing when I come through it. I mean, all those little small, significant, tiny little changes, they add up to be a big deal. And over 60 days, some of those habits remain. Some of those behaviors take place. But you can't make up for lost time. You just can't. So the best thing that you can do, if you have regrets or if you have things that you've done in the past, your best way to fix those is seriously just take one step in the right direction and just realize that when you do the right thing, the next right thing is going to happen. You may not understand why, you might not understand how, but just know in your heart of hearts, in your gut if you're a guy, a woman's intuition if you're a woman, just follow it. It's God's gift to you to say that, just do the right thing and don't cloud it with drugs, alcohol, psychotropics. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a therapist. And I'm not saying that you should jump off your meds or anything like that. It's not what I'm talking about. I'm saying that talk to your therapist, talk to your doctor, do the appropriate things to be responsible. And remember, if you're on medication, therapy is like 95% of it. Speaking to a guy who's been through a lot of therapy and on a lot of psychotropic drugs, I am currently not on any, and I'm in a position where I know that therapy saved my life. It taught me how to rethink things. And this blueprint, which I've spent a lot of my life developing and actually the last 3 years implementing, it's a life changer. So if you want more information, Dan@thenocomfortzone.com or launchwithdan.com to get on the calendar. We'll schedule some time and I'll have a conversation. I have work obligations. So what we'll do is we'll find the time either really early in the morning or late at night where we can talk and have that conversation. Tell me what's going on. We're going to live in the solution. We're going to get to the point, and it's going to be a reality check. So don't get on the calendar if you're looking for the nice and easy way out. I'm pretty direct and I'm pretty straightforward because let's face it, you screwed up. You're at a certain point. You've got adversity. Take responsibility. Now let's live in the solution. And that's what it's all about. So really quit living in the past. Try not to make up for lost time. I've spent way too much of my personal time beating myself up, trying to figure things out and realizing, woe is me. How did I get here? Oh my gosh, I've humiliated myself and devastated everything around me. You know what? That's the past. What's the present? The present is do the next right thing, because when you do the right thing, the next right thing happens. You get a few steps underneath you, you're going the right way, you got some momentum, and that's what this is all about. Getting momentum towards your hopes, towards your goals, towards your dreams, and towards your ambitions. Hey, listen, this is Dan Brzezowski. I created the No Comfort Zone Blueprint to help people get out of adversity, get through adversity, but more importantly, once you're done with the adversity, how do you live your life after that? If you really want to have an impact in your life and the impact of the people around you, it is time for you to get out of your comfort zone and live on purpose.
Say goodbye.
Want more of the No Comfort Zone? You can follow Dan on Instagram and Twitter at No Comfort Zone 1.
Bye.
Or on the web at thenocomfortzone.com.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the No Comfort Zone podcast.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.